Hi, Vincent Chicone, Chicone Cabinet Makers. Well, I have my doors epoxied together and my straight molding made. Our profile looks like this. Now I'm ready to make our arch moldings. I figured this would be a good chance for me to show you how we do that with our Hussey and their elliptical jig. I have you now in front of our 7-horse shaper. Your next step is going to be to cut out your arch. We use high-density paperboard when we make our templates. We find it easy to sculpt, and you don't feel quite as guilty when you have to throw it out because it's not very expensive. From there, you're going to attach your wood with double-faced tape to your template. On my shaper, I'm running an inch slot cutter with a 4-inch bearing underneath. The bearing's going to ride along my template and carve my wood accordingly. Before I turn this on and we lose audio, safety first with all power tools. Eyes, ears, watch your fingers. Here we go. My wood now matches my template, so now we're ready to run upstairs and get a crash course in the Hussey. I'm upstairs with our Hussey. I'm going to take a brief second to go over the negatives and the positives of this tool. And from there, go to the elliptical jig and hopefully make your life easier in figuring out how this thing works than ours was. Alright, let's start with the problems we have with this. Down below the motor housing, there's no real good way to get tension on your motor. They recommend you put a bungee strap. We find that inadequate. We run with a ratchet strap around there. Problems that they've corrected: they now have a variable speed and multi-pass. All that being said, this is the best tool in its class, in its monetary class, for making arch moldings. The elliptical jig runs off from 3 bearings, 2 spring-loaded on the bottom and 1 fixed on the top. This helps with the feed of your wood as it travels around. The biggest problem we found with the Hussey and the elliptical jig is keeping the two square to one another. You're always moving your knives, and because of that, you're always moving your elliptical jig in and out. The elliptical jig has a center line on it. What we did was find the center of our knife bar and came over half the distance. We went down below and marked out with a caliper what that was, and then scored a 90-degree line down our elliptical jig. This allows you, during setup, a quick reference point to square your elliptical jig to your knife bar. The electric's plugged back in, my hood's back on, you have eye and ear protection. I think now you're ready to make elliptical molding with the Hussey. Here we go. And that's how we make elliptical molding with the Hussey. My name is Vincent Chicone. I'm with Chicone Cabinet Makers. Thanks for stopping by.